It's no secret that at the beginning of the Burning Crusade release, the fastest way to level to max was to dungeon spam. You got a group of 5 of your friends together and just sat in dungeons running them as fast as possible over and over and over again to hit max level in the quickest way possible. Leveling on your own in the open world was just other people fighting for your tags and fighting for your quest objectives, and even when you're completely uncontested, leveling while questing was, no matter what, slower than an efficient dungeon farm group. There were early reports that this would also be nerfed during Wrath of the Lich King, so this wouldn't be the case because dungeons were actually giving you extremely low amounts of experience, which would mean dungeon spamming would not be a good way to actually level up. Also, losing out on the random dungeon finder, the experience bonus you get at the end of completing a dungeon, also made it so it didn't look like it was worth it actually leveling up in dungeons. Now, with the beta, we can run tests on this, and with an ungeared group, we can actually find out that this is not the case. Dungeon spamming is totally going to be probably the fastest way by far to level up all the way to level 80, and we're probably going to see a ton of guilds doing this. There are 2 dungeons you can start out with, Wotlk Keep, as well as the Nexus, where you can spam these dungeons in under 15 minutes with an even under-geared group. All you have to do is chain pull things. When we have full Sunwell gear, we should be able to get this down to around 10 minutes per dungeon, and the amount of experience you're getting from each of these dungeons is actually kind of insane. So far, I've only tested Wotlk Keep and the Nexus, but these are going to be the 2 dungeons you're going to start spamming initially, and you're actually looking like you're going to run the Nexus first. It is about the exact amount of time, but slightly faster, and you actually end this dungeon at the very end of the dungeon, so you can exit out and reset it, and you get almost 30,000 more experience. So you're getting about 140,000 experience per run every 15-ish minutes. That could again be knocked down very significantly by having actual gear. Now, for reference, if we look at any individual quests out in the open world, they are giving about 20,000 experience in the initial leveling zones. So one thing that is actually very interesting is that it's going to be kind of comparable if you can quest very quickly. You can actually level up decently fast very quickly, and the experience you get per quest goes up significantly as you move on from the zones into Dragonblight, into Zoldrak, and then into Storm Peaks, Ice Crown, Shalzar Basin before that, of course. But if you move into these zones, the XP gain you get per quest is significantly increased. But also so is the XP gained in each dungeon. Now, I'm not exactly sure yet how much experience you'll get from every single one of the dungeons and how much XP per hour, but I will be testing this all the way up to 80 and try to give a very, very solid route for dungeon cleave leveling all the way up to 80 for you guys as I have more time spent on the beta. But it looks like dungeon groups are going to be an insane amount of experience per hour. So dungeon cleaving is back, and it's totally gonna be a thing currently, at least until Blizzard does some random nerf on the beta for Wrath of the Lich King. This could be the fastest way to level. Now, realistically, the fastest way to get from 70 to 71, almost to 72, is actually purely doing pre-quests. On the beta, we're still seeing us be able to turn in things like dailies or any quests we have already completed. So stacking up on pre-quests, especially dungeon quests, will give you crazy amounts of experience early on. All you have to do is turn them in before even going to Northrend. And this is exactly what Progress did to get their world first clear of all content in Burning Crusade within 24 hours of launch. They actually reached level 63 almost on some characters before even entering into Outlands. So you can do a ton of pre-quests, which can almost get you to 72. I will be working on a guide version of this myself, but if you want one that's done extremely well, the Rested XP guides actually have a pre-questing breakdown, and you can actually pre-order the Rested XP guides. If you're going to be leveling outside of dungeons, I'm sure they're actually going to make a dungeon cleave one as well. These are really, really well done if you ever use them for Season of Mastery, or if you use them for Burning Crusade launch. These are paid guides, and it does kick back to the channel, just to be brutally honest, but it is really, really useful, and they're really nice. You can get a discount from the link in the description. But Tactics is working on a guide right now that has over 2 million experience just from prep and pre-quests. So it'll take you about an hour to turn in all of these quests, but if you can do this much, you can have 2 million XP right out of the gate, and you'll already be ahead of everybody else. And then you are going to probably want to head straight into dungeons. But if not, you can actually, again, get the Rested XP guides that'll guide you all the way, the most efficient way, from 70 to 80 out in Outlands actually questing. Now, you don't really need any guides if you're just going to be dungeon grinding specifically, although it is very helpful. You can just kind of prepare these things yourself. I'm going to put together some pre-quest videos to show you where some of the best leveling zones are. One in particular in Netherstorm is just the best zone for experience per hour ever if you haven't even completed the quest, or you can get all of the items, drop the quest, and keep the items. It's actually insane, but I will try to break down everything possible for you guys so that you can prepare as much as you can during the pre-patch or before the pre-patch to get into Northrend and get ahead. I'll see you guys all on the next one, and good luck out there.